employment gap is the difference in percentage of the number of disabled people in employment versus the number of just the average population in employment.
Based on my personal experience, I think a lot of employers especially, they're unsure how to work with people with disabilities. Obviously, individuals with disabilities will require different accommodations, and sometimes those accommodations come at a price.
Currently there is around a 31% gap at the time of when we were doing the research for this project between disabled and non-disabled people in employment, which is quite a huge difference when looking at the population within just Wales alone.
Many employers are worried about employing a disabled person at their offices because of accessibility issues. The great advantage of people working from home is that it benefits disabled people because they know their strengths and weaknesses, they've got their own computer equipment, they don't have the extra cost of travelling, and also some are still in shielded lockdown, so don't want to travel on public transport.
There are quite a few reasons that attribute to this employment gap. One of the most worrying reasons to begin with is that there are misconceptions about disabled people in employment, not just about their capabilities to do the job, but also just misconceptions about sorting out reasonable adjustments and supporting disabled people to be able to do their role in full.
Disabled people are in a catch-22 situation in trying to find jobs. They need experience, but that's the catch-22, and the EQUIP project helps to meet that gap. You can do legislation, but at the sharp end, at the grassroots, it's quite difficult. And it's basically people's concept of what disability is.
When you have these kinds of misconceptions around disabled people in employment, employers can then actively discriminate against disabled people.
I think it may be more awareness training, because I don't think it's the legislation part of the side. I think it's more of, awareness because you'd be surprised how a lot of employers out there, they just really don't know how to work with people who are different from themselves. So I think that's what scares employers most. It's just like working with individuals who may have different set of requirements, to succeed successfully in the workplace. So I think more educational training might be, beneficial.
I think the biggest thing that we need to do to challenge this employability gap is to really challenge these misconceptions and educate not just employers but disabled people as well as to how to access reasonable adjustments and what is there to support people in employment. And this doesn't just benefit disabled people either, it actually benefits an entire workforce.
The answer for society is not a token dealing with disabled people by running competitions, but by improving facilities both physically and non-physically throughout society and the landscape.